Okay, so last night I finished Case File 2 of Finders Keepers, the new entry in Ministry of Lost Things that Post Curious is bringing to Kickstarter here very shortly. And the intent of this series is to be a little bit smaller in scope with each individual entry, and as such, this is not really trying to put a lot of time into establishing what this world is. The Ministry of Lost Things is a whimsical, sort of collective organization that's trying to track down the emotional keepsakes that we tend to hold on to and lose throughout our lives. I found this still consistently engaging and surprising, and I've played so many of these types of games at this point, and I'm continually surprised by the inventiveness. There are some puzzles in here that I was able to intuitively get through without any sort of clues whatsoever. There were a couple, on the other hand, that were definitely doozies that I found myself getting most of the way through and then using the hint system as a way to progress through each step that I already took to see where I was going wrong, what the gray area was, but once I got that nudge, I was able to get to the next area. If there are any frustrations I have with this one, it's kind of a minor quibble with the use of a lot of proper nouns, keys and various other things that are similarly named to real world things, but slightly off, and so as you're doing some of the more name-based puzzles looking for a specific thing or a location, you might end up feeling like you're off track because it's not quite clicking that it's actually spelling a word. It's just a word that's a pun based off of something that you kind of recognize, and that can initially throw you off. There are some reference materials that contain some of the things that you're eventually looking for and can confirm, and there are certain naming schemes that eventually it falls into place and it really isn't too difficult to overcome, but that was an extra meta layer of difficulty that I don't think was necessarily intended. While it's certainly not a complaint and there is a great dimensionality, particularly to the climactic puzzle that involves depth and arranging in physical space in some really cool ways, this is a game that, because of its nature of being a little bit reined in, it's not going to have the same depth as a lot of the other puzzles that this publisher has put out, and it's mainly going to be flat pieces of paper that you're arranging, working with, manipulating, looking at observations. There's still some clever, cool new mediums that haven't really been used in the past, but it's worth noting that this isn't going to be something with tons of artifacts to really hold on to.